internet. Welcome back to another session of Chai and Chill. Today I am joined by my ex-co-worker, fellow social media enthusiast, and my friend Ritu. And before we begin, a little background on us. We were working at BBooks at the same time, which is it has grown now, but back when we were working, it was a publishing house which had just started. It was in its second year when I joined, and it was in its third year when Ritu joined.
Yep.
And welcome, Ritu. Cheers.
Thank you so much for having me here. And I was actually looking forward to be on your channel for a very long time, I guess.
I like your
I didn't self-invite myself. Yes, it is. I think even I like my cup because of the texture. Somehow I think this resembles the dragon eggshells of from Game of Thrones. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
No, I'm one of those. I am the 10% who's never seen an episode.
Okay, but somehow, like one of the lead figures, Daenerys Targaryen, she had these dragons, okay, those fiery dragons, and the dragon eggshells somehow resemble this texture. I think that's why I'm very fond of this mug. What does your cup say? Is there a story to your cup?
No, it is just from a place called Chai Point. I like it because I discovered it during COVID times. They take a lot of precautions. They are the ones who are marked on Swiggy as we take precautions, we do everything that is suggested, and they give you these amazing flasks. And you know how much of a chai addict I am.
Yes,
because I am very busy. So I spent half of Sunday teaching kids how to blog, half of it editing videos, half of it redoing our living room. So I did not have time to make chai, so I ordered it. And since it's in a flask,
yeah, it's amazing, right? You don't even have to do the dishes. That's good.
I am tired of doing the dishes. I just don't want to do any more of my burden anymore.
Yeah, let's not go into that dark place, okay? Dishes is not something I want to indulge in. That's a horrible story. Let's not begin.
I appreciate my maid so much right now.
I know. Oh my God, they are blessing, not in disguise. They are actually true blessings. So yes, thanks to them.
Okay. So when we worked together, I was the manager of BBooks. Ritu was the social media content creator for BBooks. That used to be my first job, and then I handed it over because I just had way too much going on at that point.
You got promoted, I guess, and I tried to fill in your shoes, which were pretty big shoes for me to fill in. But nevertheless, I tried my best.
It was amazing because BBooks, if you look at their social media, it just went up from there. Because I was not officially trained as a designer. I was more of a writer from the get-go, and I was just somebody who knew how to do social media. I just knew my way around it. Yeah. But before that, I believe you were doing something very similar, but for a brand, if I'm not wrong, before you joined.
Yes, actually, yeah, right. Prior to that, in fact, I was working for a company which handled branding, and it was during that period of time when I was introduced to social media marketing, and that's where I even learned the basics of designing, not the pro versions of Adobe, Photoshop, and Lighthouse, which are now very popular with the graphic designers, but I learned the basic tools and all. I think that was the time when I was introduced to this designing stuff, and I thought that's something that I took an interest in as well. So that's where I think I started researching about what are the other tools which helps novice people like me who are interested in designing, but they don't know probably the right mode to go forward. So without taking any designing courses, I think Canva and all these tools really helped me to design. So yep, that's how I started. That's my journey.
So for me, I landed on BBooks because I did a Google search. I was looking for publishing houses in Calcutta. BBooks was one of the houses that came up. And I was specifically looking for an English publication house. How did you land up at the job?
Actually, after my first job, I quit the job to pursue this course. I actually got to know about this course in Jadavpur University about editing and publishing, and I enrolled myself in that course. And after the completion of that course, these publishing houses, a couple of publishing houses came down to recruit people, and I chanced upon one of those jobs, which was with BBooks, and I took it as it came my way. I didn't think much about it though. I just went with the flow.
Yeah, fun fact, I studied in that college for 8 years and I never came across. Because I think you did the course after I had passed
Yeah,
on
I
and I was
just,
already in a job.
I guess, yeah. That would have been fun actually. Had I got to know you back then, it would have been a whole different ball game. Probably, I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe it could have been different. But nevertheless, I got to meet you in VBooks, and I'm pretty glad about it.
Yeah, so one thing that also fascinated me and I want to talk about it is your skills with Microsoft Office. I have not seen
Oh,
people.
please.
No,
Yes.
I can show
I
people my CV, the one that you did up, and I was like, how did you do it? This is a Word document. How is it so pretty?
I think nowadays it's pretty common, but back then I think I just went on to research about how to beautify your CV, how to make it more presentable, and being a content writer, how else can you add value than just typing in your skills? So I think I chanced upon some templates, and I thought I could probably make it more presentable. So that's how I thought I would just contribute into. Did that CV actually help you get a job? That would be
I
a
landed on
win
this
for me.
job, no? Right after I.
Okay. Okay. So the treat is due. You know.
It's been 2 years, but okay.
It's been 2 years, so you need to give me a big fat treat. I'm not gonna be satisfied with just
We also
a chai.
need to be in the same place because the other thing is after we both left VBooks, we kept, at least I am pretty set on staying in Mumbai, but you keep
I've been
shifting.
moving a lot. I think in the last couple of years, I've been to Kota, I've been to Meerut, I've been to Banaras, and now I am in Hyderabad. Hopefully, I'll be here for some years to come and not move to any other place very soon. So, yep, I have seen some places in the last couple of years.
So we'll come back to all your moving around, but I want to know something that when we were, when you were the social media manager for VBooks, was it difficult to come up with content every single day, or what was your thought process? Like I know we used to have this Monday meeting where we would decide that okay, what do we do now?
Yes, I know. Coming up with something really original which will beat your competitors is really challenging. But at the end of the day, I think what we really used to do was we used to go for competitive analysis. Do you remember that? We used to
Yeah, I do.
read and see what other publishing houses were actually doing at that point in time. Also keeping in mind that we are not going to copy them, but how do we beat them in this particular game of digital marketing? So I think we also used to put a lot of focus on our books. What is the target audience? I think that was really very important to decide the demographics, the target audience, who are we actually trying to project this book to. So I think those things contributed towards making a particular post, or rather that was the idea behind creating a particular post, or the planning, I think.
Now tell me something. You studied a course on editing and publishing. How did you go from there to becoming a social media content creator?
Yes, even I am wondering now, how did that happen? I was supposed to be an editor or a proofreader probably, and I ended up becoming a social media manager. But then I remember I also used to handle some of the proofreading for VBooks as well. Some of the manuscripts did come my way sometimes, even some of the books as well. So I did enjoy reading the books. And whenever there was an error, be it a glaring error or just a small one as well, I think I took pride in spotting the errors. I thought, yes, I could probably become a good editor someday. And now I am in a job where 80% of my job involves proofreading articles and all different sorts of content actually. So, yeah.
So the proofreading thing, especially for VBooks, we were such a small team and we were on such a tight budget. I think at one point all of us proofread books. I proofread,
exactly.
you proofread. I think even Isha has proofread books, and Isha is the one who owns the company.
Yes,
and so at some point we have all proofread books. That was fun.
That is probably, that was fun. I think that is the beauty of a small industry where you have small number of people working for you. Everyone coming to pitch in some way or the other. It is not just restricted to your particular job role. You go beyond that. You push yourself to contribute in different ways, probably for which you weren't even hired. So that also I think upgrades your skills. You entered as a content writer or you entered as a social media manager, but then you also end up upgrading your skill as a proofreader. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. So it's good to upgrade your skills that way.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed my time working at bBooks because there was no set mark of this is my job and this you
Yes.
do not get to put
Right,
your nose
right.
into this. I have also I
Absolutely.
learned how to do Amazon and Flipkart backend at that job as well,
Yes,
which
I
is
know,
something I'm
right.
grateful for. And when I use that knowledge in my current job, most of the time people are like, "But you are a content writer. You stick to writing content. Let us figure out the
Right,
marketing."
right.
So,
I think that happens. Yeah, I think that happens when you switch to a bigger company. I'm not very sure, but I would like
It
to
does.
think on those lines because once you specialize in something and you are hired by a bigger company, they think, okay, so you need to specialize from here onwards. But in a small company, because the manpower is less, everyone tends to come together. You know, okay, you can't help do this, or rather, you can't get this job done. So let me actually help me with whatever ideas I have. So I think that's how the ball gets rolling in a small company as well. So also, I would say that there was one benefit of working with bBooks is we didn't have a boss who would constantly breathe down our neck, you know,
Yeah.
constantly monitoring what we are doing. So she had always given us that freedom to do whatever you want. I think that also helped us to grow creatively as well. So I think that also helped us to actually probably spread our wings of imagination and creativity and soar higher. Maybe. I don't know. You probably, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, fun fact, she does not like being called a boss. I'm pretty sure she's going to look at this video and she's like, "Did you guys really call me a boss again?"
I know. Exactly. I know. I remember like the first time I went for my interview and like, hi ma'am, and so I was
I
like,
can't
wow,
imagine you calling Isha
and
ma'am.
yeah, I know. And like, she's like, oh, please call me Isha. Like, okay, this is a pretty cool place to work then. So, yep, I really enjoyed my time in books, especially when I used to be in office, not when I started working from home. That's a different
Yeah.
chapter altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, but coming to
That
that,
had its
Yeah.
pros and cons as well.
what was that like? I know you continued working from home for bBooks for a while because you had to move. You
Yes,
didn't really
yes.
have a choice. You had to move out of Calcutta.
Yes, I did not have much of a choice though, but I think I was completely ready to put my papers out there and resign because I knew I had to move out of Kolkata. And back then, working from home wasn't really a normal stuff like how it is right now, right? So
That's because of
everyone
COVID.
is working. That's because of COVID. The situation has changed the complete scenario. So I think back then it was very different. And I remember I was about to resign, and she offered me rather a different choice. She told me, "Why don't you work from home? So wherever you are, since your job involves dealing with social media, so you can continue with that." And I was pretty happy with the option or with the choice which I was given because back in Kota, I wasn't very sure how many opportunities I would be getting, and more importantly, because I really enjoyed what I was doing with books. So I was really happy that I got that opportunity to continue working from home. So yes, working from home was different back then because I think you had to juggle both the roles of balancing your household chores and at the same time balancing your professional work as well. So I think I am now a pro at it. So it's been a while since I have been working from home. I think yes, I enjoyed that phase as well.
Yeah, I'm sure because for us, when the COVID thing started and we had to work from home, like doing it one day is fine. It's a
Yeah.
one-off day. But doing it regularly,
Correct.
it took me a month to come
Months
to
of
terms with the fact this is my life, this is when I have to wake up, this is when I have to cook. And then you have to be so strict about things. Like if people call you during lunch,
Yes.
when you're cooking lunch, you have to tell them that I will not attend your call, Abhi. You cannot call me right now. And that assertion took some time because a lot of times I used to put people on speaker and say, "Yeah, you talk to me, I will cook. I just don't care. I have to cook right now."
Yeah, because you need to balance so many things, right? Nobody else is going to come down to your place to cook for you, especially during COVID times, right? So you had to juggle so many roles together. You have to be the maid, you have to be the dishwasher, you have to be I don't know, so many different things. An executive, content writer, a marketer. God knows so many roles. It becomes at times a bit difficult, and you need that social connect too, like which sometimes isn't available when you're working from home. it becomes difficult. But during these times, I think work from home is an absolute must.
Absolutely, I agree. Because this situation is scary. I went downstairs the other day and my neighbor told me that, cases are on the rise now. I'm scared. And I'm like, you weren't before, auntie? What's up?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, I'm sure there's a good percentage of people who are actually like loitering around without any purpose, but just for the sake of it, just because they don't feel like they want to stay back home. So, because of some people's carelessness, the cases are also on the rise. That is
Not
happening as well.
loitering. And chai. And since it's raining, because it's Bombay
Yeah.
monsoons,
Okay,
my favorite
yes,
memory
yes.
of us.
Oh my god, I know where you're heading. I know. And it was fun. I so miss it. I really do. I don't remember when was the last time I actually went on a bus ride. The Kolkata bus rides, they can be really a big challenge.
Bbox's office is in a place which floods very easily. It's in North Calcutta. And it's flooded.
Speaking of which, I also have another memory which is very special to my heart. I'll get back to that later. But first, you continue.
So, and then I think we went out. Ubers kept cancelling on us, even though we just wanted to get to one metro station. We didn't care which one, and we just wanted to go to
Yes.
one metro station. That is it. That is
And
all we wanted.
Uber somehow, even if there's just scatter of like, even though it will be just light rain, the
Surcharge.
surge will be like 2x, 3x, 5x.
Oh God, I remember. And
And now
finally,
they
I
are
think we
with
got on a
us
bus.
during COVID.
I remember when we got on a bus, and the bus, after half an hour, you said that, didn't we already cross this path? What is this bus?
Because we were constantly talking. We just forgot where we had to get down. We were constantly talking. We spent like 7 hours in the office and still we had so much to share even when the bus was on the move. Like, dude, we had to get down like 2 stops earlier probably. And we missed our stop.
Yeah.
And then,
Then we went back. I don't know, the bus also kept, the bus went back because it was in a limited route. It was not going the entire way because of the rain.
I don't
So
remember
suddenly,
the
I
details,
remember we
but
took the bus from Amber Street police station, right? And suddenly I see we are back at the same place. What is happening? And then you decided on the next stop that I am craving chai and I want pakoda. So it is raining.
oh my god, yes, Kolkata and those steaming hot pakoras and these are heaven, little delights of heaven. Come on, you can't.
I do miss pakoda
them.
over here, but I remember that because it was raining. We were in a
Those were
bus
called
and then we
chop.
decided to go down and walk. And we actually, I remember asking random passerbys that, is there a chai shop around? We just need chai.
I remember that. Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, fun fact, we did have chai, we had pakoda, we took the metro back home. But that was the craziest thing we've done together, when it was already so late and it was raining like crazy. And we were like, no.
Yeah.
Chai and
We are
pakoda is
not
a must.
bothered. Yeah, exactly. That is more important than actually getting stuck in this rain. So that was more important for us. Do you remember another instance back in Bbox itself? It was quite late and it was raining cats and dogs. And you know how this College Street gets flooded during rains and all. So one fine, not very fine evening, not at least for you. So the water level was quite high. So we had to get down from the stairs, and when we were getting down, you were the first person to get down from the stairs, and water was almost almost knee deep. So you got down from the stairs, and just when you were knee deep, I was still on the stairs, and I said, "No, I'm not coming." And you were so furious. I was like, "I'm already knee deep, and you refused to come. What the hell? You have to come." I mean, you were confident, you were like almost trying to drag me, but I was just laughing at you. Yep. Off. Do you remember that scenario?
I don't,
Oh my
because
God.
I think I was so angry, I blacked it out.
You
of
were
my memory.
mad. You
I
were
was-
mad. You were
I'm
mad
sure I
at
was
me.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
were
this
just mad. You're like, how can you do that to me? You have to get down in this beep beep. You know. that was
The
fun.
place
That
used to
was
flood
fun.
so easily.
Yes, like yeah, it needn't even rain heavily. With some light rain and light shower, it would flood maybe.
I also again fond memory from Bbox does not involve chai. It involves wine and a book.
Oh yes. Oh yes, of course. I remember. You even shared that image, I think, a few days back. Oh
It keeps coming
God,
up on my memory. So it was on the 1st of July. So every 1st of July, Instagram reminds me that this is a memory you have from this many years ago. So that
I think we
I
should
remember.
frame that picture.
I will. I actually have a printout, I think, of that picture, but it's back home. It's not
You
here
do?
with me.
Okay, but that was one memorable evening. That I'm going to take it to my deathbed. That was really amazing. I think, yeah, I think
Yeah.
you want to share.
So the
bits of
story
that.
is, there was Rajat Kapoor who had come down, and he was the special guest for one of the books we were releasing. Ritu and I had worked on the book ka entire social media plan. I think, no, I'm sorry,
It was
I did
Shruti
not work on
Upadhyay's
it.
book.
I had,
It was,
yeah, it was White Noise,
Yeah.
Shruti Upadhyay's book,
Yeah.
and I think we had just come back at that point of time from Wales, Isha and I. No, I was already
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
She continued her trip and then she came back. She came back and
Right.
you did the entire promotion and everything on your own. I think I came and I
Yeah.
helped ekdam last way when I had to send out newsletters and all.
Right.
And I remember we were so happy on Vine. And there's a huge line of people who just don't care about the book, okay? Because there are so many people in a book release who just don't care about the book or the author. They just want to meet
They
the
just
celebrity.
come for, yeah, they just
They
come
just
for
come
to meet the celebrity and for the free food.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember that by that time, since we were already exhausted and I was tipsy, I was
Yeah.
very happy.
Yeah.
There was a line. Ritu
Oh
wanted
my
a
God.
picture clicked with Rajat Kapoor. Somebody cut that line and wanted to take a picture with him. I was, again, furious. Me decided to come out. I was furious. The guy asked me that, can you take a picture of me with him? And I said, no. I will take a picture of my friend first and then I will take your picture.
I know, the guy was thinking, oh my god, look at her audacity, huh? And I was like, okay, he didn't expect that nobody. That was
He
amazing.
wasn't wrong. He
I
was
found a new respect for you. I found a new respect for you, which I never knew I could ever find. I was like, oh my god, hail this goddess. This is amazing. I loved it. That was really fun.
And every year on 1st July, every time that picture comes up, I'm like, I remember this incident.
Yes, and that was such a memorable incident. I mean, there were more stories to this, but I think that was the most that was the cream part of the entire evening. Yeah, but that was the highlight of the evening. It was good.
Coming
Yeah,
to
that
you
was fun.
constantly shifting. Your constantly shifting is also reflected on the way you represent yourself on social media. There was this one time you
Is
were
it?
sharing a lot of things about travel because you were traveling a lot. I think you had traveled a lot at that point of time and you have all those aesthetically pleasing shots. Then
Yes, yes.
And then
I remember.
recently, I also noticed that you started this page called Designed by Ritu, Styled by Ritu, where you have started
That's right.
styling hair and you into makeup, which is something I
Yeah.
did not know about you at all. So, do the moves
Yeah.
affect it, or is it your mood that affects it?
I think the mood, yes, not the move. Probably move for the travelogue, not travelogue. It wasn't for the travel pictures. Probably it affected, but when it came to beauty and styling, I think that particular topic was something which was very close to my heart always. But it never found it never found the platform. So what happened was how it probably motivated me even more was when I got married. That was the first time I actually had a full-blown makeup on my face. So I really was impressed by the way I was looking. I was like, how, okay, so she has highlighted the strong features on my face and has beautified me. And I was really happy about it. Like, how did she do it? It's like a magician just painted on a canvas and it was really amazing. I said, okay, so what's the trick behind it? And I wanted to learn, how can you beautify someone. It's not about making a dark curl pair. That's not called makeup and beauty. It's about taking the strong points and the strong features in one's face and highlighting them. So I thought, okay, this is also like art, I would say. So that was something which really made me very curious, and I went back to my this beautician, the one who makeup stylist in fact. So this makeup artist who did my makeup on my wedding, I went back to her to take a brief course to learn about the basics, and that further intrigued me. And I think after that, makeup and beauty has always stayed very close to my heart. So even now I try to learn or research a bit about what's trending right now, how to up my game in makeup. So that's my little probably try.
I did not know the background of the story, and also I'm pretty sure you're the first person I heard who got very impressed by their wedding makeup. So went back and did a course.
Yes.
You are supposed to look that beautiful on your wedding day. I cannot believe that is what triggered you to go take a course.
Yeah, because I thought she did justice in keeping my look very natural. She didn't change me to a whole different person. I thought, okay,
that is something I have noticed with a lot of wedding makeup.
Yes, I have seen so many times.
Look like yourself.
Yes, and it's like you are going to some different person's wedding altogether. Okay, your friend is getting married. All right, who is this person? Okay, I don't know this person. They completely tend to change you, and I really liked the way she handled it, and I thought she was a true artist. So I think that probably brought out that little artist inside me that was always really interested, who was always really interested in makeup and hairstyling. So I thought life's too short, we should try things which interest you. So that's why I took an interest and I went to learn the basics from her.
Yeah, I saw the hairstyles that you did, and I think I commented on one of them saying that I really like this, but I don't think I have long enough hair to do it. But it is so pretty. Which again brings me to this. Right now, we live in a digital world, and social media is doing such a lot of good things as well. If you take away the 5% people who are constantly cribbing about everything in the world,
there will always be that percentage, right?
But I like how social media has actually leveled the playing field. I cannot imagine when we were growing up, somebody who's interested in makeup would actually have the resources or the means to figure out that this is what I want to do and I want to put it out into the world that I am good at this.
Right. That's true. Now I think people are more active on this digital front. They are taking notice of these people. In fact, that's exactly how I chanced on my makeup artist. I was going through the Facebook pages of these artists, and these Facebook pages actually act as a portfolio to their work. So that helped her grab a client through me. So I think these platforms are actually acting as really good places where people can grab a job, people can actually showcase their potential. I think the power of this digital platform is enormous, and it's really, probably it will rise much higher, especially after COVID. I think it's going to rise much higher than this.
Yeah,
what do you think?
No, I hope so too, because one of the things that I was also talking about this with another friend yesterday when we were shooting Chaya and Chill with. The amount of content that has come up, especially during the lockdown, and the number of people who started taking up new hobbies and the kind of things I started seeing, it was amazing what people can do if they just have the right time, the platform and the resources.
Right. Because we are always so stuck in our job, like the 10 to 7, 10 to 8 job really takes a lot of your time. You are hardly left with any time to invest in your hobbies. So I think now that people are working from home, they can balance work. I'm not saying working from home means only just sleeping for 2-3 hours. You are working, but then at the same time you are cutting down on your travel time. You don't have to travel, and living in cities, I'm sure you know how big a hassle it is to travel from point A to point B, right? So also we are contributing to a much greener earth, so we are not commuting, so there's not much pollution, so we are contributing to a better earth as well.
For me personally, time has been something that I have gained, because I live 20 kilometers away from where I work. So cutting down on that entire 1 hour journey back and forth, so that is basically 2 hours of my day. I am not exhausted. Traveling in a Bombay local is in itself very mentally taxing.
Exhausting.
So exactly. I used to stay back at office on purpose so that I would get an empty train. So I am not doing that anymore. Right now, if I am done by 8:30, I can shut off the work and I can do my own thing. And I have more time to do other things as well, things that have interested me more.
Right. Exactly. You think that you can be more productive as well if you are in a good frame of mind where you're not always calculating, okay, how much time is it going to take me to go back home? Like you're constantly calculating, you stop being human, you become so mechanical. So I think that also affects your productivity at times.
It does. Plus, if you are just traveling and working, your brain is not getting a break. Right now, I am also much better at the work that I do, is because my brain is getting that rest. It is getting to explore other avenues as well. And speaking of work, you are a
Yep.
content writer now.
Yep, and a proofreader. Yep, I know. More of a not content writer, but I would call myself a copywriter. Yeah. So I try to write engaging content which is going to catch the eye of my target audience. That's what I try to do.
Wait,
And
so what is the difference between this? Is something that has intrigued me because as a content writer at a digital agency, I have to do both copy and content. I don't know why.
yeah,
So I have to do
okay,
websites and I have to do social and I have to do everything. But
all
we
right.
are always told that a content writer is different and a copywriter is different. So what is the
And what
difference?
exactly is your idea of the difference between a content writing and
Layman's
copywriting?
terms, content writer is someone who does long format content like blog posts, newsletters,
Yeah,
website pages.
yes,
Copywriter
right.
is somebody who does the tweets, the social media, Instagram, would write
It's not
very
just
crisp
restricted to
ads.
that. Yes, crisp, punchy lines, which is going to catch the probably or make your visitors stopping the tracks. Basically, the target is to in copywriting. I think, if I'm not wrong, the target is to probably like I said, catch your audience in their track and make them stop and see what exactly you want to say. So your writing should be lucid. It should be compact. It is targeted at selling something. It can be a service. It can be talking about your brand. So it is informative. It is said in such a language which people can easily relate to. It shouldn't be so ornamental or so difficult to decode that people will lose interest. As we already know that our target audience's attention span is very short, and in that short attention span, you have to make an impact, right?
It was
So
2008. So I was reading up on attention spans, like you said. I found a blog post from 2008 or 2010, around that time. That time it said it was 15 seconds. Recently, I read a study which said 5 seconds, and extremely recently, like I kid you not, 2 to 3 days ago, because I teach kids blogging, I was researching it, and it said 3 seconds. Our
yeah, just
attention
imagine,
span is
just yes, and that is the challenge that we have to face every day, that make it so different and so unique that it is going to make your visitors stop in the track or your readers take a second glance at what you have to offer. So I think it all comes down to writing. It comes down to the power of words, and of course proofreading is something which I do.
So do you miss creating designs and coming up with your own concepts? Because right now it sounds like somebody gives you the brief and you have to work on that brief.
Yeah, that is exactly how it happens. The executive, he comes with a brief, and I'll have to work my way around that particular brief. And yes, I do miss creating these graphics, but here I'm creating with words, right? I'm creating new concepts with words. So that is also an art, I would say. So this takes the shape of a graphic design, and content and copy takes the shape of I would say visual delight as well, because once people take note of the words that you are trying to get across, I think they are going to turn back and see what exactly you are trying to offer. So that itself is also an art, and you have to get really good at it because you have so many competition around you. Everyone is trying to bet them game.
I like
Yeah.
all the 3 jobs that you had plus your hobbies, they are so different from each other.
Yeah, I think I like to keep myself busy and explore new things at the same time.
But
I don't like, yeah, same things kind of makes me seem like it's getting a bit monotonous, and I need to uh, try something new, which I haven't tried. It exercises my brain probably.
But do you think that's a good idea, to constantly shift? Like I have been told that if you want to, rise in this profession. Also, fun fact, I came into this whole ad agency business by accident. When I was applying for jobs, I saw a lot of jobs listed as content writer and copywriter. And being a writer, I just assumed that these are just writing jobs. I learned everything that I know today
On
on
the
my
job.
first job. I was so shocked at what I had landed myself in because I had no idea that this is what was going on. I was like, हाँ ठीक है. How different could it be? We have already done this for books. It is not going to be that different to do it for products. And my mind was blown.
Yes, it is so different, isn't it?
Someone complimented my deck. I had created this deck for the blogging that I'm teaching these kids. So he said that the deck looks so good. Thanks. It took me 2 years to get here.
I know there's so much happening out there in the world, and most importantly, in this social media and writing as well. The trends are changing so much. Like how you spoke about the attention span as well. So everything is changing, and you have to do a lot of research to know what exactly is happening right now. You have to keep abreast with those challenges, and you have to constantly see and like figure out what or how I can actually contribute in making this content more engaging and compelling, and how I can set it different from the rest of my competitors. So I think research plays a very important role as well. I think more than writing, I think you have to invest almost 50% of the time in research. What exactly you are trying to accomplish, why exactly you are trying to do this.
So absolutely,
yeah. So sometimes it happens that I even get asked like, you have to do this job right now, you have to deliver. I understand there are some content which you need on a deadline, but if you want quality job, you have to give it some time, because there's research involved in it as well. You have to invest some time. And yes, for other exceptions, when you need a job on a priority basis, I understand you have to deliver it. So that's a different story. But other than that, I think research and writing goes hand in hand. Well, like, how much time do you invest in research?
I invested. So no, again, for research, I do my own research obviously, because the Virgo in me doesn't trust people.
I know, been there, done that.
The Virgo in me does not trust people at all. But the thing, again, because I work in a bigger agency, we have our SEO team and our ORN team who does all the research, and then I like challenging all of their research by saying that I don't think this is right. I am surprised that nobody has escalated me yet, but yes, I have. So again, I'm so sure the kids I'm teaching right now, they're so sick of me using the word SEO, and I can understand, because once upon a time I used to use this word a lot. I'm sure we've had conversations about SEO
and
as well.
It is important.
Yeah. So I remember you were one of the people who told me to do SEO for my blog. My blog right now, if you look for my name, the first thing you find, the first hit that you have is my blog. It took me a while to get there. So I was explaining to the kids why they need to do SEO. And most of them were like, but if I'm a good writer, why will it not work? I was like, I used to be you. Listen to me.
I know this is one of the most strongest pillars into getting higher in that Google page. You have to focus on your SEO game, and it's not like you have to stuff those keywords even if it doesn't fit your sentence. Sorry?
Yeah, I told them that. I was telling them that there's a fine line between stuffing SEO and making sure that the write-up is SEO optimized. There's a difference.
Yes. There lies a difference, and there's a thin difference. Like you rightly said, it's a very thin line.
It's a very thin line.
Yes. But then I'm very happy that you actually took that advice, and it's helping you now with your blog page.
Which reminds me, where is your blog?
Yes, I have been procrastinating that since a very long time. It's about time I pick it up. I know.
I met you, I think, back in 2016, if I'm not wrong. 2016, 17 most probably.
Yes, 17. Yeah.
17. Yeah, 16 was when I met Shugandha. 17. You told me you wanted to start a travel blog. It's 2020.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Corona has stopped traveling.
Are you sure of that? Corona has stopped traveling, or it has actually made us all stop in this travel scenario? They have put a stop to our traveling game. So that's really sad.
It is, but I also like the fact that it also gifted us. There is good and bad, of course, but I like the fact that it made us, forced us to self-reflect and take a lot of action.
Yes, it did. I think we all have probably took a step back, and we did think like, what are the priorities, what are we actually doing? We are rethinking about our own choices. That also did make an impact. Corona, yes, it has contributed in good and bad ways. And now again, this is one topic which is debatable. You know, pros of corona and cons of corona. I think this probably needs a whole different time slot or time limit to talk about just the advantages and
That
disadvantages
I'm
of corona.
sure that you would need a lot of health experts and a lot of mental health experts to sit and debate with you, because
Yes,
it is
yes, right.
their jobs right now has become so difficult. Obviously, frontline workers and mental health experts,
Yes, I
because
know.
since human beings are social animals, a lot of people cannot deal with being at home. A lot of people cannot deal with that at all. Like, even though you're an introvert, a lot of we miss going out. I miss taking a walk to
Right,
nature.
right.
Like
Right,
the first
right,
3 months when I had to be absolutely cooped up in the house, it was so difficult. But now it's better.
And
It's getting better.
especially more, I think, because once you stay all alone, all by yourself, the only interaction you have is when you are going to the office, sitting with your colleagues, talking to them. That itself is refreshing at times when, of course, you don't have that work pressure. But when this COVID happened, everyone is left with no other choice but to stay back home. So, having a choice to not step out of the house is a different thing, but having absolutely no choice, and when you are said that you have no other choice but to stay back at home, it becomes really difficult to sink in. So if I am given a choice to stay back at home and go out, I might take or pick staying back at home, but when you don't have any other option, it becomes really a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
So then that's
That is
frustrating.
that's something we were discussing. So someone told me that it is difficult for you because you don't have a choice. You are forced to work from home.
Yes,
But for
that's what I'm
freelancers,
saying.
yeah, the time when I was freelancing, it was much easier because I'd made that choice for myself. I knew what I was getting into this time.
Right.
And the other thing
That is not something which was pinned on you. Yeah, nobody pinned it on you. But now this has been pinned on us. So we don't have much of a choice. Rather, we would prefer to stay back home. I mean, given a choice between work from home and going to the office, I would definitely pick work from home.
So would I. So yeah, my office has given us the choice that do you want to travel or do you want to be at home. I live 20 kilometers away, so there is no way of I
Yeah,
can
obviously, exactly.
go there at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I think even you need to be in that frame of mind. You shouldn't feel constantly. You shouldn't be in that fear. Okay, if I'm traveling all this way to my office, am I actually keeping myself safe? You're constantly in a contradiction with your own chain of thoughts. Like when you have that fear, you don't have that peace of mind. You won't be able to be productive at your workplace as well. I think this staying back home and actually working is will probably add to your productivity level than battling every day and going to your workplace with a fear is definitely going to dampen your spirits as well.
That I believe is just going to give me a lot of anxiety because I had gone to my grocery store just once in this entire pandemic that we are under, and there were people who are not following the social distancing norms, who are not wearing your mask. So you can do everything right and somebody else's carelessness might infect you, and that is not okay with me.
Same here. I have seen so many people who are like least bothered about wearing a mask. Okay, this probably is some I don't know, this is something which is probably a hoax. So this has got nothing to do with me. So I will choose not to wear a mask. Like, this is not just about your safety; it's about people around you.
Safety,
you have to, yes, you have to be a bit mature about this. But then again, we can't really spook people all around.
Yeah, okay.
I try to, but I really don't end up successful all the time.
So, yeah, people will not listen, and that is again a whole other topic that if I start ranting about what I wish people would do, I will not stop. So let's not go there. But yeah, one more thing that when we were planning our chai and chill, and I was thinking about the things to ask you, for some reason I thought your husband is a essential worker.
Well, he's not an essential worker, but his work is essential for his clients, They actually bank on him for his valuable consultancy. So yes, his work is essential, but he's not in.
Because when I asked you that what does he do, you told me he's a consultant. And I was like, okay, consultant of what? Now you have left me where I'm thinking that he could be a consultant for drag queens to drugs. What? You have given me too broad a spectrum. And when I say drugs, I don't mean the drugs you trip on. I mean the chemist drugs.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to invite him on this Zoom call so that he can give you a full-fledged detail about what exactly he's working? I thought this was about yours.
I don't know why. I thought he works for the CSC and he's an essential worker. I don't know why I thought that.
No, he was in CEFC. That was a long time
Yes, you never
back.
told me that he changed his job. That is why I was thinking that he must.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, my bad. But now he's not in CESC anymore. He's now an associate consultant, and I think he's enjoying his new work a lot. I think that's pretty cool.
He's also working.
Yeah,
from
I
home.
need to-
How's that
I-
for you?
Yeah, that is pretty good. You know, we get to spend some quality time together as well. He's obviously balancing both work and home. But he probably prior to this he didn't have to engage much in the household chores. But right now he does have to contribute a bit more. So that's perfectly fine since we both are working.
Yeah, but who makes the chai? Whose turn is it to make chai?
Chai, yes. It's actually it's on Mondays it's my duty. On Tuesdays probably it's his game, and again Wednesday we just do it on alternate days or
That is
whenever
so
I'm.
sweet.
Yeah. But we try to keep it all. We try to balance it out. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Chai and Chill. We will be back again in 3 days.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.